Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
All right, good evening everyone. Good evening Texas, good evening US of A, and magandang umaga to all our viewers from the Philippines. Welcome to Season 7, Episode 9 of Be Bold, Why Not? Your show that, your show that gives you stories of courage, passion, and purpose. And tonight, it's not just a special night because of our guests, but it's special because we are in the season of giving, the most wonderful time of the year. But before we get to our guests, we'd like to show the mechanics of the game.
How to join the game. Watch the live show and join the conversation. Share your thoughts or experiences by commenting during the show. Like, share, and tag at least 3 friends in the comment section to qualify for a chance to win a prize. Participate actively. The more comments you leave, the higher your chances of winning. All participants will be eligible for the prize. The winner will be selected using the Wheel of Names randomizer.
All right, there you go, the mechanics of the game. But of course, you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, stream.lawin.live, and twitch.tv. And if you missed our live show, you can listen to our podcasts on Spotify, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast, and a lot more. And of course, we are brought to you live by none other than Lawin Media Network. So tonight is very special because it's not only that our guest is a special person, she's very talented, she's a very entrepreneur-minded, she's just awesome, all right? It's not just because of that, but tonight in our game or on our game, we're going to give away six prizes. Yes, we're going to draw 6 winners. So to all our viewers, comment, tag your friends. Please tag your friends. It's very important because if you do that, we are able to reach more people and we can inspire, empower, and just reach out to a lot of people. So please tag your friends. And tonight we're going to draw again 6 winners at the end of the show. So tonight we have a guest who is known to the Filipino American community here in Houston, Texas. She's not only a nurse, but also she is an entrepreneur. She has multiple businesses in our community, and she just is very inspiring. She has a very powerful story that I believe will inspire and just encourage each one of you, especially in this special time of the year. You know, it's a season of giving, and she's very generous that she is sponsoring 4 of our winners tonight. I don't think she needs much introduction because she is well known, again, as I've said, in our Filipino American community here in Houston, Texas. So let's get in the show. Our very special guest for tonight, Mary Jane MJ Osmeña. Let's get her in. There she is. Hi, MJ. So we have 2 MJs tonight. We have the short-haired MJ, and we have the beautiful MJ, who's very fashionable as well. So, MJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. That's a very good introduction. I would like to greet our viewers in the United States. Good evening to each and every one of you. Thank you for taking your time watching this show. And to all our viewers in the Philippines, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And I just want to wish you in advance a very, very Merry Christmas.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
for having me. Thank you
Yes,
for
yeah.
having me, MJ. And I would like to thank Lawin Media Network for the invitation. I am so grateful, and it is an honor to be here. And I would love to share our story, my story, and our story with our journey in the business. And I hope that tonight I would be able to share some light to all our viewers.
Absolutely, MJ. And it's our pleasure. Thank you for accepting our invitation. I know you're busy because you do a lot of things. Although you were telling me it's actually better now because, as entrepreneurs, you probably have more time for some relaxation and all that. But before we get to talking about your journey in your business and all the other things that you do, we would love to know you first, like your family, like where you are from in the Philippines, because you might have some kababayans watching here. So tell us about your background in the Philippines, MJ, or Mary Jane. I'll just call you Mary Jane so they're not going to be confused with you and me. Okay. But anyway, yeah, tell us about your background, your family, how many siblings you have, and where you from.
Okay, so I come from a humble beginning. I come from this what they call the mystic island of Sikihor, which is now very popularized locally and internationally because it has been a tourist destination in the Philippines. But that has been my childhood. A very simple life, very peaceful, but full of joy and
Mhm.
full of genuine relationships with our neighbors, our family, and our relatives back home. And then I studied at Silliman University, and that's where I graduated with my bachelor's degree in nursing. And then I migrated here in the United States together with my husband in 2004. And
Mhm.
since then, we've been here in Texas and we've been visiting other states, but we love it here in Texas. And we stayed here in Texas. And then we are blessed with one good son. He's going to be 18 in January. And so I have one boy, our único hijo, and his name is Vincent. I've been a nurse for 30 plus years. So I have stepped up the ladder from being a bedside nurse, a staff nurse, to a charge nurse, a nurse administrator, a house supervisor, and a nurse manager. So I've been in leadership role for like 16 years with nursing. And through it all, I have learned a lot in that journey. And now that I am still a nurse, I am still working as a nurse at MD Anderson Cancer Center here in Houston Medical Center, and I am grateful for that opportunity. And while doing my nursing career, I'm doing entrepreneurship, which
I know we're
happens to
gonna
be
get to that, but let me just comment because you said you came here 2004. So I just
yes,
came ahead of you by 1 year. We came here like 2003. Yes, so that's amazing. So we've been here in the US almost at the same time. And
yes,
you mentioned, okay, so you came from humble beginnings in Sikuhor. And because I've like recently you posted and you had a birthday just recently, right? And you have
yes,
a twin. Tell us about that. Because yeah, and what's the name of your twin sister? Oh my God, that's so amazing. Do you
yes.
like look alike? Like, is it like identical twin?
We're fraternal twins. Her name
Mhm.
is Dr. Mary Grace Bahian Lubguban. We are fraternal, very opposite in features and physical features and our personality traits. But I love her to death. We don't see each other often, only when we go home to the Philippines. But she's a professor at the Siquijor State College in Siquijor,
Mhm.
and there's five of us in the family, and we're all girls. So we all love, we all love to dress up. And then when growing up, because I have a twin sister, so we were all matched with all our outfits, even since birth up to when we were in high school. We stopped. I told my mom, can we just stop having the same clothes, color, and style, everything? Because it's already embarrassing. We went to Dumaguete and we went to the high school, and everybody's looking at us I was like, okay. So my mom said, okay, you're not going to have matching outfits anymore. So that's the end of our matching era. So that's why I'm used to like matching my outfit, because my mom and my grandmother used to dress us up, in style most of the time, and so they know us. Oh, here's the Bahian twins, and that's how they got to know us.
Nice. You know what? I remember when my daughter was younger, I used to buy us like matching outfits, matching dresses. Now that she's like 18, she's like, "Ma, why are you matching with me?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness, she doesn't like it anymore when she was little. It's just so cute when you match with your daughter, right?" So,
Yes.
anyway, talking about that, the growing up in the province, because Sikihor is considered a province too, right? So when you grow up in a community like that, it's just life is just so simple, right?
Very,
So
very
when
simple.
very simple. So when did you start going out of that simple, comfortable zone in your life? Like when you were in college, did you go to a big university in a bigger city? What did you do and how did it feel to get out of that day-to-day mundane of simple life and then going to a bigger city? How was your experience about that?
So growing up, of course, at that time, back in the younger days, our lives, we were very simple at that time. Of course, it's a simple living, very laid back, but full of,
Mhm.
as what I've mentioned, full of joy and genuine relationships with our neighbors, with friends, and that's how we enjoy our childhood. It's different nowadays, but if you ask me, how did I get out of that simple life?
Mhm.
Because of the demands and our daily mundane, when we go out to the college, to a bigger city, and then we migrated to another country. Here in America, everything is more complex. But
Mhm.
when we talk about the simplicity, we go back, we do not forget our roots and where we come from. And
Mhm.
me, if you see me, I may dress up in style or fashionable, but I can also, when I go home to the Philippines, I would miss, and I can still sleep in a bamboo hut, or out in the, if we have that cottage where it's a bamboo, or go back into, I can still enjoy that. I can
Mhm.
still enjoy that, and having that joy in that simple living. And I believe that that stays in you no matter where you are. That
Mhm.
stays in you, and you will remember that, but you can still live that wherever you are, whether you're in a big city or not. So if you ask me, I can be in a very high end hotel, but I can also sleep back, in any location in the world. I can sleep on the floor. I can sleep in a simple mat, because that's just who I am, and that's where I come from. I will never forget that, and that stays within me.
That's awesome. Because you know what? I can totally relate. You know what, MJ? Whenever I go home to the Philippines, again, as you said, here in the US, we may have all the comforts, right? But in the Philippines, we are very flexible. We always can go back. Actually, I miss that too. That's why I want to go back. I want to go back like every year because I just miss home. I miss the simplicity of life. Like eating with, with your hands
We
and
have,
just
yeah.
enjoying every single moment with your family, with your friends, where you grew up. I mean, life at this point, it's a matter of just creating memories. It's not about enjoying luxury or whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. To me, it's more connecting and going back to where we came from. And that's just the most wonderful and joyful experience that we can have wherever we go. It's always going to be in us. And I can totally relate. Anyway, I told you it goes by so fast. So we're on our first break. I couldn't believe it. But we're going to go on our first break. And when we come back, we will continue chatting with Mary Jane. See you after a while.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
All right, we're back, and let me just read some of the comments before we continue. And again, I'd like to encourage our viewers. We're going to draw 6 winners tonight. So the more comments you make, the more chances you have of winning. And please continue to tag your friends so they won't miss tonight's prizes. We have a very, very generous guest. So tag them, and let everybody win tonight. Okay, we have 3 heart emojis from my niece, Trisha May Narciso. Hello, magandang umaga to all the Bataqueños out there. I'm from Batak, by the way. So naimbag nga bigat yu amin from the Bataqueños. And also we have Miss Mindy Lee. Hi, MJ. It seems like you have a fan here, MJ. And then we have Daisel Miral Siaton. Good evening, Ma'am MJ, watching from Pangasinan. Good evening to you as well. We have Recto Julius. Good evening, Ma'am MJ, watching from Pangasinan. Good evening. And May De Vera says, looking great, ladies. Thank you, May. All right. And then total package, Miss Osmeña, beautiful, smart, and generous. Absolutely, yes. And then from Bailey Dodson, hi. Hi to you. We also have Sur de Marien. Okay. All right. I'm proud. Very good. Very good. So, yes, please watch, tag your friends. Okay. Good morning, Mom MJ and Mom Mary Jane, watching from Bugalon, Pangasinan. Good morning to you as well. We have Rance Vanister Baniqued. Good morning, Paul, and good morning to you. We have Jadil Fred Fronda. Good morning, Mom MJ and Mom Mary Jane, watching from Bugalon, Pangasinan. Yes, we have a lot of viewers from Pangasinan. So MJ, you had a very colorful childhood. You said it was always like very good relationship with everybody, the neighbors and all that. And I miss that. I mean, truly and honestly, it's just so wonderful. I miss my childhood where I used to play with my friends. Like we play patintero, Chinese garter, like there's a lot of things that we used to play that we didn't need anything else. We played with the environment, we played with nature, but now it's different. And I know you have a son. So we're going to talk before we talk about your business, your career, and other things. Let's talk about first about your son, because you know how moms are. When we start talking about our kids, it just makes our heart full, right? So
Yes,
tell us
yes.
about San Vincent and how do you be as a parent comparing to how you grew up and now you're a parent. I know it's a little bit of a challenge, but tell us about the challenges that you encountered. I know he's grown up now, he's almost 18, but bringing him up when he was younger, what challenges did you have to overcome, because you wanted to, we want our kids to grow up like us, where it's simple and everything, but bringing children in the United States, it's different, like
Yes.
bringing them up. So tell us about
Yes.
your being a mom.
Okay. So being a mom has really been very fulfilling for me. I just want to let everyone know, especially our viewers from the Philippines, that it doesn't mean that if meron kang anak or may pamilya dito sa Amerika, that life is already a bed of roses. No, it's not.
Mhm.
Life, wherever we are at, it's always difficult. But there are times that we have happy moments, and those are the moments that we nurture and we value. So, back with our son, it took us 5.5 years for me to conceive. And I had issues conceiving until finally we offered it to Senior Santo Nino because my husband is Osmeña. He's from Cebu. And so we offered a novena. And then the doctor already told me that we're not going to be able to have to conceive a child. So we started having devotion to Senior Santo Nino. And then 6 months later, I got pregnant. And my OBGYN wouldn't believe at first until he heard a heartbeat on the ultrasound. And then 3 months, we were so happy then. 3 months, because he told us to go into a fertility specialist to go in vitro. And my husband at that time and I, we were not really in a hurry. We were young then. So when you're young, you're so busy, you're new in America, you wanted to, your life is just more on working and working. So having a baby, that's just, the last one on your plan until time lapsed and it's already 5 years. And so my OBGYN said to go to a fertility specialist, and we didn't go. And then I got pregnant. And then to us, it's we considered it as a miracle. But then
Yeah.
3 months when I got pregnant, my husband has a dream. And on his dream, he dreamt that there was this white guy clothed an old guy clothed in white, and he told us that our son is gonna be a boy. He said, you're gonna have a son and you name him Vincent Anthony. So the next morning my husband told me, I said, what? That's a very rare, very weird dream. Like, where can you get a dream that would tell you the name of our son? And we're already looking into different boy or girl names, because at 3 months we don't know yet the gender. And then my husband, if we're gonna be a male, we said maybe we're gonna name him Jeffrey Jr. after my husband, because that's how it is in the Philippines. If it's less an only child, or like the firstborn son, it will be a junior. Until I got into 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. Every time we have an ultrasound, we couldn't see his gender, because either he's sitting, is the genital is always covered, so we don't know if it's a boy or a girl until but my husband really believed that it's gonna be a boy. Everybody is saying it's gonna be a girl or a boy, but my husband said, no, my belief is really a boy. I'm gonna follow my dream. Until my son was born unexpectedly on my husband's birthday. He was a preemie child, and then he was born, and then months before that we were tested, and then the doctor said that I'm gonna have a Down syndrome baby. And so it was very emotional for us, but we accepted the fact that if it is, we will accept it and we will not do anything about it. So the first thing, then I was rushed. He was born unexpectedly on my husband's birthday, 32 weeks. I was rushed to the hospital. And then I told my husband, the first thing you're going to look at is the features, if it's really a Down syndrome. So I was on emergency C-section. And then my son, when I woke up, I asked my husband, the first thing that I asked him was, how was it? How's the baby? And then he was crying, and he said he is perfectly normal. His APGAR score is 9/10. He's not a Down syndrome baby, and he is in a regular nursery. He was not in the NICU because his heart and his lungs are good. And then he is in the regular nursery just to gain more weight before he's discharged. And that was really, up to now, that's a miracle for us. And he was growing, my boy, he's growing up to be a good we have sent him to Catholic school because we are devout Catholics, and I really believe in being in surviving in this life. We must have a strong faith based uh,
Mm-hmm.
family and a relationship with our family and our child and our kids. And so
Mm-hmm.
the way we were brought up, both me and my husband were in Catholic schools. We wanted to share that to our son. So growing up, the teachings that we have, we brought
Mm-hmm.
him to every Sunday. My husband didn't fail. If I'm working and I'm sleeping in the daytime, he will never fail to bring Vincent to the Catholic Church to go to a Sunday Mass and to all the Masses every Friday, first Friday or Saturday. But the teachings that we have inculcated in our son, and our life is not a bed of roses. We have even up to now with the business. So my son is a witness to the realities of life, that is not a bed of roses. So he didn't grow up to be demanding. We haven't seen him really like having tantrums because he cannot have the toy. We have set it to him, the discipline that no, you cannot have everything you want every time you get it,
Mm-hmm.
because life is not like that. And so the discipline that we got from our parents, we inculcated that to our son. And growing up now, my son, thankfully, that's I'm very proud. Like, I do not know how he will be in the future, but seeing him now to be a good, loving, a very sweet, loving son, and thoughtful and friendly and God fearing, I can say that we have made a difference, and that as a parent, of really teaching our child to how it is to succeed in life, to really be genuine in our connections, to be a man for others, and that's what his school at Straight Jesuit. The mission is to train the students to be men for others, and that's what I want him to be when he grows older, and then out into the real world, whatever career, whether his or purpose he's following, to really serve and have the genuine relationships, and to have all the values that we've learned growing up and up leave that we're leaving up to now, that he would also leave that. And so even if there's like a lot of generational gap, and that he is on his computer most of the time because he loves his video games, but when it comes to moments, when there are moments, even if I'm so busy every day, I spend 15 or 20 minutes hugging my son in the bed and telling him all the trials, all the life lessons, all the life skills that he needs to learn, and all just every day without fail. And he is the love that you give them, even that 15, 20 minutes, and the lessons you give them, that would take them. They will carry it. They will carry that with them wherever they go. And I always tell him that, I may not be here all the time, but I want you, for each obstacle or struggles or setbacks we have in life, in the business, I teach my son what is the learning behind it, and to really tell him to look at the positive side of everything, in anything, and be grateful. Because once you are grateful, even that one slightest 1% of gratitude, you will never feel so low and so down, because you look up and you appreciate what you have. And that's how it is to be happy. You need to be contented, and you need to be happy with what you have. And having the family alone within you, beside you, that's a lot of things to be grateful for. And there's a lot of things, we just have to see which matters most, whether it's material things that makes you happy, or the relationship, and the genuine relationship and connection you have with the family, your friends, your colleagues, and your business partners. And that's
Wow,
how it is, I believe, in life.
yeah, and that's awesome because, like as I've said, and as you have mentioned, I think it's really important to, some people they are spiritual, some people they're religious, but they have some kind of faith that guides them in, like bringing up their children and in guiding their children. So it's good that we start early with showing them the love of God. Because I mean, when they grow up and become adults, sometimes they may take a different path, but you already have built that foundation in them. And I think you're right, wherever they go, because I've heard it from my kids. Because when they get older, become adults, you cannot help it. They will go out of their way, they will get out of your like they call me a helicopter mom or whatever. Like they want to try to explore the world, and they
Sure,
want to get
yes.
out of the comfort of your home, because they want to learn to live on themselves, to live by themselves, to be responsible. And it feels good when you have a child, or your son or your daughter would tell you, don't worry, ma, because you raised us well. Don't worry, because we can go out there and just pray for us, just guide us, but we want to try to live on our own and be independent. And we cannot help it. As parents, all we can do is support and pray for them. And I totally agree with you. We teach our kids to be God fearing, to be respectful, to be responsible. If we have that foundation, if they have that foundation within the family, we know that wherever they go, whatever life may bring them, they will be able to handle life. And life is not perfect. Everybody goes through challenges, everybody goes through failures or anything, but there's no failure in life, because even if you fail, you learn something. So it's a win-win. Nobody is spared from not having to go those paths, like the dark valleys of life. Every single one of us have those moments. But I salute you and I congratulate you. God is great. He gave you a miracle son, and I'm glad that he's growing up to be a great person. And it's also because you model the values. It's very important. If we model the values that we want our kids to carry on, then they will follow it. Because again, as they say, actions speak louder than words. And if they feel the love, if they feel the caring, and they feel all these things, and if they have it, they are able to share it, right? Anyway, we are over time on our second second break. It's just so amazing. I love talking about our children, because they are our
Children.
trophies. They are our trophies. Life is not this great if we don't have, of course not everybody is blessed with kids, but as parents, they are our most wonderful blessings. But anyway, when we come back, we will continue to talk with MJ. So see you after a few seconds.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights, and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
All right, we're back and let's read more comments. Wow, we have a lot of comments today. Hi to my Ate MJ and Mom Jane watching from Ilocos. Oh, that's my younger sister. Love you, sis. I miss you. And then Alvin Reyes, good evening, Texas. Hello, Mom MJ and Mom Mary Jane watching from Pangasinan. And then Francisco Jasmine Ungria or Hasmin. Yeah, hello, Mom MJ and Mom Mary Jane watching from Pozorubio, Pangasinan. Yes. And we have Sandra de la Piedra Fabria watching. Wow, thank you very much. And then we have again Sandra de la Piedra Fabria tagging Miriam Shaw to watch MJ interview. Oh, thank you. Thank you both. And then Ara Rekilman Ungra, Ma'am Mary Jane is so beautiful. Yes, amazing. And then Ara Rekilman Ungra, again, may mapupulot ka talagang aral sa pag-share ni Ma'am Mary Jane. Absolutely. And then, of course, we have Krisha De Vera. Even when everything seems down, trust God. Amen to that. And then Zia Ungria. Hello, Ma'am MJ and Ma'am Mary Jane. Hello, everyone watching from Pusurubio, Pangasinan. God bless your show. Thank you so much, and God bless you as well. We have Julia Reyes. You're a very, very good mom or mother, Mom Mary Jane Osmeña. Yes,
Thank
absolutely. We have
you.
Ren Bannister Baniqued watching from Pangasinan, and Trixie Islander watching here while on duty. Wow, your coworker? That's
Hi,
awesome.
Christy.
Thank you all so much for watching. Yes, I am so glad that we got you as our guest tonight, because I know that your story is just so beautiful. And now let's talk about you as a nurse. Let me ask you first before we talk about you as a nurse, but did you always want to be a nurse growing up? Just curious.
I think I really, in the Philippines, growing up, you're kind of like, oh, what am I gonna take for college? But because everybody's taking up nursing, and of course your parents want you to have, okay, yeah, then just take nursing also. So it's not really something that you really like. I mean, like you really wanted to, but because in the Philippines back then, we were like either we take um nursing or being a teacher or study engineering or go to law or stuff like that. So just some of these major choices, and our parents tell us you have to choose one of those, and we are at the mercy of our parents at that time because they are the ones sending us to school and paying our tuition. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to choose, and I chose nursing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad that I chose to be a nurse.
Mm-hmm. So, being a nurse here in the US, I know we in the Philippines, of course, you graduated from the Philippines though, right? You
Yes, I
graduated from
graduated from
Mhm.
Silliman University. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, when you came to the US as a new nurse in the United States, what challenges did you like face or encounter, and how did you deal with them? Because it's hard, you coming from a country where there are no equipments and all that, and then coming to the United States where advanced the technology is just so advanced. Like, share us about your first few years here in the US as a nurse in a foreign country.
So it's very challenging, primarily because in the Philippines, we learn more about nursing, more on our textbooks and classroom setting. And we have
Mhm.
limited experience to build our skills. And the actual, we just read about this machine in the books, in their textbooks, nursing books, but then the actual practice, that's very limited. So when we came over here, we were like, oh, you start from all over again, because
Mhm.
this is where you build your skills, and this is where the real McCoy, the real experience takes place. You have
Mhm.
your knowledge in you. It's in you, it's instilled in you, but that is also very important if you have a strong base knowledge, because once you get into the skills, of course you use your knowledge when you practice. And so that is very helpful, having a strong base knowledge system back home in the Philippines, in the university where I came from, a Silliman University. So when I have this skills acquisition and experiences, it's just easy, because I just have to relate what I've learned knowledge wise into applying it in practice. And it's very challenging in the beginning. We were brought in by an agency, and we were asked to choose which city and which hospital. And I really chose the smallest hospital in Beeville, Texas, because I am so scared of going into, the big hospitals. And
Mhm.
then I realized later on that's how we ended up in Texas instead of going to other big cities, because I really chose to be in the smallest hospital. But then I realized that there's a disadvantage when you work in a small hospital, because it is
Mhm.
small. So when the census is low, they're going to close one floor, and you're going to be on call because there's a lot of nurses working. So that's
Yeah.
also another setback for that. And so
Mhm.
then I moved into a bigger hospital in Laredo Medical Center, and that was my training ground. That is
Mhm.
really like, that's where really it was the hardest experience, but that is also where I learned a lot, and that's where you learn how to survive, and that's where you have 7, 8, 9 patients, and that's when at 3 months on that hospital, one day I come to work and they ask me, "Oh, MJ, the manager said you're gonna be charging." I said, "What? I haven't been oriented to be a charge, and then I'm gonna do charge, and you oversee like 10 nurses and mostly travelers, and then you also have 7, 8 patients on of your own besides charging." But because me, since childhood, and my parents has taught us to really embrace undertakings and obstacles with open arms. Like, it is scary and I'm afraid, but I always take opportunities with a positive mindset. And so I don't have any orientation. There's nobody else to take charge. So I took that moment to take charge, and since then I've been a charge nurse in that unit, and that's a step down cardiac unit, from a step down from ICU, from fresh heart surgeries. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad I took that step and bold decision to really take that step, even if that was not, that was something very, very uncomfortable and outside of my comfort zone. But that's how you learn. And that's how, when you get out of your comfort zone and accept and take on responsibilities with an open mindset, and take it 1 hour, one step at a time, then you will be able to get through your shift, get through your experience in whatever experiences in life.
That's awesome. And you know what? You're just right. See, there you go. Be bold. Why not? Yeah, and
Yes, you
every
have to be
single
bold.
one of us, we have that fear. Because imagine coming from the Philippines, of course, the nursing practice in the Philippines is also totally different. Like, we do functional nursing where you take care of the whole floor, and you have like a, what I mean, you charge, and then you have other nurses, and then of course we do things manually. Like, I remember you count the drops per minute when it comes with the IV, right, with the IV
Yes.
infusions. And then
Yeah.
here in the United States, the good thing about technology, though, we bypass the manual counting. We now use machines, so
The
all we have
machine.
to do is learn to use the machines. And the good thing about here, there are instruction manuals and you have orientation. So actually, for us Filipino nurses, that's why they love Filipino nurses, our patients do, because we easily adapt. And I think that's our strong, it's our strength. We being
That's our
able to
strength. Yeah.
adapt, and we are hard workers. I mean, there are Filipino nurses all over the world. It's not just here in the United States. So I am so glad that I am a fellow nurse. And you're right. If you are bold enough to take a responsibility and to learn and grow, then that's how you actually build your skills. Because without taking risks, and without stretching yourself, you're not going to grow. Growth always comes with pain, stretching, and that's like a rubber band. John Maxwell, the law of the rubber band. That's how you grow. You have to stretch it out, because otherwise we're going to be stagnant. We're just going to stay where we are. And look where you've gone because of that. Because of it only takes one bold step for us. And you cannot even imagine how many opportunities that will come after taking that bold step. Ed Milet, one of the gurus, and he's a very good motivational speaker. He has a book he calls The Power of One More. Only one step, one more, right? Then opportunities will just open up for
Open
you.
up.
So, anyway, you are a very good nurse. You have gone into becoming a charge nurse, supervisor, manager. You have reached so many, you have achieved so many accolades and all that. Now, before we go on a break, I know we only have okay. Now we have to go on a break now.
Break.
But when we come back, let's talk about MJ or Mary Jane as the entrepreneur. It's getting more exciting. So when we come back, let's prepare because she has a very beautiful story about her becoming an entrepreneur. See, we've learned so much about MJ being a twin sister, being a daughter, being a mom, a nurse. Now, when she comes back or when we come back, we'll learn about her being an entrepreneur or a businesswoman. So, see you after a bit.
For divorce and family law in Texas, Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC will guide you every step of the way.
From initial consultation to detailed review of your case and strategic planning.
We'll sit with you during negotiations or mediations and represent you in court.
Whether it is a family law, estate planning, or immigration, we will be there to guide through the final steps.
So, leave your legal matters behind you and embrace your future.
You can contact Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC at 346-5454-346 or visit dizonlawfirm.com.
All right, we're back and we have more comments. But again, I would like to encourage our viewers, make more comments because the more comments you have, the more chances of you winning a prize at the end of the show. And again, I want to encourage you because tonight we're going to draw 6 winners. You heard that right. We're going to draw 6 winners because of the generosity of our guest. She's sponsoring 4 of our winners tonight. So comment. And we are flattered with comments. I'm so glad we have so many viewers tonight. So first comment here, mabuhay sa lahat ng bumubuo ng Bibold Lawin Media Network. Maraming salamat. And then of course, Tito Flor Ginhawa. Glad to watch 2 MJs in one screen. Yes. Thank you po. And then we have Ara Kilman Ungria again. I salute all the nurses in the world na ginagawa nila itong trabaho na may passion. Hindi katulad ng ibang mga nurse na mas lalo nilang papatayin ang pasyente. Oh my God. All right, and then we have a JC Ikrag. Hello, good morning, Ma'am MJ. And then we have Jonathan Abarabar. Good morning po, Ma'am. Good morning to you as well. We have Sandra de la Piedra Fabria. Her story is a powerful reminder that courage and purpose can create real impact. So excited to hear her journey. Thank you for that comment, Sandra. And then we have Rance Vanister Baniqued. Thank you for sharing the blessing, ma'am. Yes, thank you, MJ. So yes. So
You're
now let's
welcome.
talk about your being an entrepreneur. It just reminds me again that how Filipinos are just so good at anything and everything. And when it comes to our families, to helping others, we are willing to do what it takes. And in the Filipino American community, MJ here is not only serving as a nurse at the #1 cancer center in the world, which is MD Anderson Cancer Center, which I am proud to be an employee as well, but she has created multiple businesses. So MJ, tell us about, first, I know your baby business is Capetayo, right? So tell us how you came to visualize and conceptualize all these businesses that you have now. I know you have so much passion about all these things. And what drove you? What motivated you? What inspired you to create these businesses?
So, as MJ has mentioned, we started Kapitayo, and to the viewers in the Philippines and all over the world who is watching right now, I just want to let you know that I co-founded together with my husband, Kapitayo Coffee in Houston, and the first Filipino coffee shop in the United States that's brewing Philippine coffee every day. And you may have asked, why did you go into business and you are a nurse? And it's true. I can be a nurse until I retire, but why did I go into entrepreneurship and why did we open up a business? So having worked as a nurse for 30 years, I've done this, I've done that. I had a lot of my fulfillment and rewarding experiences when I was working as a nurse, a staff nurse, and I went up the ladder. But I believe that there is something in me when my husband and I were talking on opening a business. Up until now, I believe that going into the business is a calling for me and my husband, because when we came over here in the United States, we never thought of opening or going into business. We were so busy with working. And in the Philippines, growing up, we were taught and we grew up being told, okay, you study, and work. And that's how our mindset at that time was. And very limited time that we hear and we have this experience back home where people, or there's even somebody would teach us that you need to go or encourage us or motivate us to go into business. So up until we decided maybe we need to go into business. And so when my husband asked, what kind of business would you want? And there's two things that I told my son and my husband 2 years ago when we started Kapitayo. I told them, number one, I want to have our first family business that is not just getting money from people, but I want to have a business with an impact that is able to help and give back, that is able to pay it forward and to use that business to help other people. And second, I want to have a business that no other Filipinos in Houston or in the United States has done that. Because I'm a person, I don't copy. I want to be I have unique ideas and I want to start that. And so when we went to Colorado on vacation, we met this American who is selling the coffee bags. And I was touched with his story when he said, oh, these coffee beans are coming from Mount Apo in Davao, and the ones who grow this coffee are the minorities. And when I heard that story, I was really very touched. And I was like, oh my God, this would be the perfect business that I want. Instead of selling the coffee through the bags only, I want the Filipino community or the Philippine coffee. I want that coffee to be brought to the world by opening a coffee shop so people can experience the Philippine coffee. I've been seeing, and we've been also famous with our pancit and lumpia. And so I was like, but I haven't heard much of Philippine coffee being talked about, internationally. And now, 2 years later, in the Philippines right now, it's so big deal. And every corner, there's a coffee shop. But back then, there isn't. So I was like, why not be the trailblazers, bringing that Philippine coffee and having people experience and taste our coffee instead of selling in the bags? And so me and my husband, we don't have a lot of money when we started the business. And when I was talking about it, I never really thought of we don't have a lot of money to really start our business with. I only have a few savings. But that we use that very minimal savings, we use that one to start our business. We started very small, but we have a big dream. And I always believe that if you have a purpose and passion why you opened that business, if you think that if your purpose, you believe on that purpose, that you don't just open a business to be rich or to have a lot of money in the bank, but because you want that business to be an avenue for you to help others more, then that will be something that will really motivate you and will really push you to really go back and go into your mission and your vision. And that's why with all the struggles and setbacks we have and challenges we experience for the past 2 years establishing our business, that has always been in my mind. I always go back and I always think about that. What is my mission? What is my vision? Because I want one day at a time, one city at a time, I will be able to bring Philippine coffee to the world, to other nationalities, to uplift the Philippine community into the coffee world, to help and pay forward to our fellow small-time coffee farmers back home. So now we have supported the Mount Apo farmers, the Cotabato, Bukidnon, and our goal is to help all the small-time coffee farmers back home in the Philippines. And I want to represent Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, so each region will be represented. We are working on that, and that is in the works, that is in my heart and in my mind. And that will never be, I told my husband, until up to my last breath, I will say the same thing I'm telling you right now. And 2 years ago, when I opened and launched the business, the same words will come out into my mind. I come out from my mouth. Nothing, it will never change, because that's in my heart. It lives in my heart. And I have a dream, and I believe that my purpose and mission will go big. Right now, we are just sowing seeds for our future. If you have that faith, you have that belief, and you have that passion, that will guide you all throughout. And being wisdom, your mission and your passion and your vision of doing your business. So because of that, we have started, and now we have grown. We have 2 locations. And because we know now, my husband have our and I have the system now. Okay, so we realize, because of our experience, alam mo na kung how the business runs and how the connections work. Then you open up another business. So recently, we just opened a boutique, which is another passion of mine. But then I tag along, and I did not leave my coffee behind. But even better, I put my coffee and my boutique together. It's been a long time dream for me to open up a boutique where people can come and really shop smart and affordably, not expensive, but dress up and be confident and style affordably. Because when people see me growing up, or even my friends in college, or even now when I am already working here in the United States, they all ask me, MJ, every time they see me, I like your getup, I like the way you dress up, it like the way you look, it seems like it's all expensive. But in fashion, you dress up when you dress up smart, not everything has to have a hefty price tag. You need to shop smart. You don't spend a lot of money on dressing up. It's how you carry yourself and the confidence you have. And because I want, people would tell me like, oh, I love your ring, I love your jewelry, stuff like that. I said, why don't I just open a boutique, and then I can help others who doesn't have the talent or the gift to put things together and dress up nicely. Then I'll be their personal stylist, and I'll be happy to share my gift and talent and my passion for that. But then I want to have an elevated shopping experience. So why not bring my coffee together with my boutique? That's why we opened the boutique now with our coffee, so that when you go into my shop, my boutique, you can sip in style with our coffee, or you can have our specialty drinks. And that's why it's called Sip in Style Kape Tayo Coffee, because it's hitting 2 birds in one stone. And that's how you think. That's how you think when you're an entrepreneur. How are you going to get these customers to come to your place? But we're hitting 2 birds in one stone. When they come for coffee, they look around, they may be able to buy things. When they buy for the clothes, they will see coffee, they're thirsty, they're hungry, and so they're gonna try. And then I can also tell my story. So that's a new concept that we are implementing, that I thought of. That's a vision that I've really been wanting to do, and now by God's grace, we're able to open that. And I'm hoping that our community and our customers would support us and patronize our coffee, and also the experience that they're going to be getting at the boutique.
Wow, MJ. So look at this simple lady from Siquijor, Philippines, right? Now she's in the United States conquering the business world. So see, when you have, again, we have talked so much about passion, right? About purpose, about calling. And here at Be Bold, I personally believe, your host, MJ here, personally believes that every single one of us has something special to contribute to the world. that every single one of us has that dream, and that dream will never go away. So you may not fully achieve that dream, but if you make one step at a time, every progress is progress. You're getting closer to your dream. Don't ever give up. We all are here for a purpose in this world. We all are here to care for each other, love each other, help each other, encourage each other, empower each other. That's what we're here for. In this life, human connection is very important. And that's why we're here in Be Bold, because we want to feature stories like MJ's, because we know that everybody who's listening right now, I bet you learned something from her, that you've been inspired by her story. So MJ, we are at the end of the show, but I want to give you another opportunity to please tell us the most, maybe the top 3 most important lessons you want to share to all our viewers tonight before we find out who our lucky 6 winners are. Please take it away, MJ.
So this I've learned this one, that in our life we need to be grateful for the gift that God has given us, and we need to share that gift. Each one of us has a talent and a gift, and share that to anyone. And we need to be proud of our hard work, because that gift and talent from God is given, but the hard work, that's us. So when you put a lot of labor and hard work into your profession, in your career, in your business, be proud of that. You need to own that. Own your story. And also, in everything, there are always challenges and setbacks and struggles. But if you have the strong faith in God and you believe in yourself, believe in God that He's gonna guide you through, that He's going to get you through this, that all these things in the world and challenges, it doesn't define the past, doesn't define the future. What you are in the present doesn't define your future. But always be positive, always be kind. When we are kind in business, even if we don't expect anything in return, we give and give. Just be kind, just give, and then the Lord will give you back 1,000-fold. Whether in life, in business, in the career, He's gonna bring you more people who's going to help you and guide you. More connections in business. I haven't experienced as much connections until I go into the business. The power of connection is most important in business. You need to be with the right people. You need to be in the right organization. You need to be in the right place. So show up. Don't ever say no to any opportunities for you to meet people, because you'll never know what that moment would lead you into, another connection, another opportunity. Embrace each challenge or obstacle with a positive mindset, because when you have the belief in yourself, you can conquer all with God in your hand. Thank you so
Wow.
much. And it's been a pleasant evening, and I hope I have shed some light to each and every one of you. God bless each and every one of us, and Merry Christmas, and be kind to everyone. I love you all.
Wow, MJ. Wow, that's amazing. I am just so inspired. And I'm like, wow, life is great. And you're right. No matter what challenges we go through, everybody goes through the same challenges. Nobody in this world have a perfect life. Even our Lord Jesus Christ did not have a perfect life, but He was perfect. And it's time to celebrate His greatness. He's being the king of this world. He's gonna come again and He's gonna save us all. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Let's draw the winners. And again, MJ, thank you for your generosity. Let's see who
You're
are
welcome.
winners tonight. Our first winner, let's see, first winner, The first two will be the regular winners of Be Bold. So you message me when you win for the first two. Wow, Krisha! May De Vera is the first winner. So I will take care of that. And then our second winner, I'll also take care. And the last four will be care of MJ. Let's see who our second winner is. Congratulations, May De Vera. And now our second winner is Zia Ungria. Congratulations. Congratulations. So Krisha or May and Zia, I will send your prizes. And now let's see who the last four winners are that Mary Jane is very, very generous to sponsor. Okay, let's see. Daisel Miral Siaton. All right, congratulations. We have 3 more. Okay, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, another for May De Vera. Because remember, the more comments you have, the more chances of you winning. So, and then another one, Ara Ungria. Okay, so we have the 4 now, right? For MJ?
I think there's one more.
Oh, one more. Sorry.
Only 3.
Okay, one more. Let's see. We have Renz Vanister Banik Ged or Qued. Okay, Baniked. All right, congratulations to all our winners and Merry Christmas. So again, thank you for joining us tonight here at Be Bold Why Not, and MJ or Mary Jane. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story. We truly are inspired and we wish you the best of everything. God bless
Thank
all
you.
endeavors that you have. I know that
Thank
you're going to
you.
bless and make an impact to a lot of people, not only in the Filipino American community here in Houston, Texas, but to all the people that you're blessing back home. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your passion. And thank you for sharing your beautiful story. Again, to all our viewers tonight, thank you for joining us, and join us again next Monday for another wonderful episode of Be Bold, Why Not? God bless everyone. This is your host, MJ, signing off. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Merry Christmas.